YouTube, we gotta talk. Good evening, YouTube. Or is it good morning or good afternoon? Not sure what time of the day you're watching this. I am in DC for work. It's the first week of January. Decided to do a recap of 2025, because why not, right? Putting work aside, let's have a conversation. On the plane ride coming to DC, I was thinking about how challenging 2025 was. More in particular, of reflecting on how I finished my fitness goal and how I wanted to be active. December has holiday parties, has company parties, networking parties, Christmas. So there's constant eating and drinking and going out. And so I'd say for the last decade, I've always given myself grace to just enjoy the holidays and be merry, enjoy my family time, not be too restrictive. But that always meant that in January, I go balls to the wall. I go hard. I've always jokingly have said in years past that I often get my summer body in end of February, early March, because I just go hard to the gym. I am pretty strict on my diet those first few months of the year. But 2025 in particular was challenging for me because in January of 25, I noticed that I wasn't getting in the shape where I typically have been in years past. In January of 25, I had turned 40 the month before, and I just really felt for the first time in a long time that the age was coming up. And I felt that I finally kind of understood when you're in your 40s that your metabolism slows down, that you need an extra day to rest, you need extra time to recover. And so then it was super frustrating for me to go through January and February and work out hard and push myself and see no results. Think about it. If you went to school and you started your ass off in a class and went to go see to your TA and took classes after class to like study and study groups and all that stuff, and then you were still getting C's and D's, wouldn't that piss you off? Wouldn't that frustrate you? And like, so that's exactly what I was feeling. And so then that's when I started to pivot more into how I eat and more into my nutrition. And so I really started focusing on eating 120 grams of protein a day and really tracking what I was eating. It was a new challenge for me. I'm proud that by the time I got into midsummer, so I started focusing on my nutrition mid-March of 25, and I'd say by mid-summer of 25, I felt strong. And I tell this to friends and family, and I think from my mid-30s to before I turned 40, I've always said I was like a BMW sports car. Like I was fast, I was lean, I was mean. When I turned 40, focused on strength training, focus on my nutrition, I felt like a Bugatti. Like I felt strong, I felt toned, I felt muscular, and that was such a cool feeling. It was motivating too, because I've always functioned while feeling light. So I'd skip breakfast, I'd eat a light lunch, and I'd eat a semi-light dinner, so then I would wake up the next morning feeling light, if that makes sense. But I wasn't giving my body the nutrients it needed. So I'm just super proud that I recognized that something was off in my fitness, something was off in my journey. And instead of it derailing everything for me, instead of derailing my life, my fitness, my goals, being depressed, being frustrated, I was able to find a solution. Now I shared with you the food portion and the nutrition portion, but like in terms of the fitness, it was a banner year for me. I killed it. I really did. I'm proud of myself. I finished 2025 with 6.2 million steps, which came out to an average of 17,000 steps per day. Just to kind of give you some insight, the 3 years before, so then 22, 23, and 24, I was averaging between 14,500 to about 15.8 thousand steps per year, which is pretty strong, pretty solid. Like, that's nothing to sneeze about. That's pretty dope. I was just in a different space. Like, I was an animal in 25. To increase it almost 1,200 steps per day for a whole year. I mean, the dedication, the consistency, the intensity. Yeah, I'm just proud of myself. Like, that's a lot. I remember reading this one stat where it said that it takes about 66 days to create a good habit. And so on top of the 17,000 steps I averaged last year, I finished the year with a consecutive streak of at least 10,000 steps for 175 days, which is almost half the year. And so I've often told people that when you commit to your goals, especially with fitness, it bleeds into other lanes. And I think for me, what it is, if you can be focused and accomplish your fitness goals, your nutrition goals, the confidence it gives you, or at least for me, the confidence it gave me is that I can tackle anything else. Whatever life throws at me, I can beat it. Because I proved to myself that I can be active, I can work out, I can, when it's raining, when it's snowing, when it's cold, when I'm feeling unmotivated, I still do the work. So whether it's you wanting to save X amount of thousands of dollars for the year, X amount of $100 for the month, for the week, if you're trying to drop a few pounds this month, if you're trying to get a promotion, these are all little things that add to the bigger picture. And it's confidence. It is betting on yourself. It is showing up for yourself. It's respecting yourself. I feel like too often we try to go for shortcuts. And in the example of my steps last year, I mean, there are no shortcuts. Either you walk, either you work out, either you go on the treadmill, either you go for a long run. It's making choices. It's you are needing to go to a grocery store, which is maybe a mile away, and saying, you know what, I'm gonna walk to the grocery store. It's choices, it's decisions. And I didn't take shortcuts. You can't manipulate 17,000 steps per day for a whole year. It just doesn't work that way. And so I think too often we want to have to work, but expect full credit. And life does not work that way. The message I want to get across is that anyone who is watching this and thinking they are hitting rock bottom, or they are in rock bottom, or they're in neutral in life, or they're stuck. I've been there. I'm 41, and I vividly remember being 27 and being divorced, being overweight by over 50 pounds, living paycheck to paycheck, having crappy credit score, and being directionless in my career. And I think that could have been enough for me to just say, you know what, I'm 27, but I'm not going nowhere. I made the decision, that's not the life I wanted. Each month, each year, I wanted to get a little better, a little stronger, improve myself. You do have to play the long game. You do have to be patient. When you bet on yourself and you have that intensity, the world feels it. So my hope for everyone and anyone watching is that in 2026, you kill it. You take all the negativity from past years and you have a clean slate. What do you want to accomplish this year? What do you want to do? Who's the person that you want to become? Write that down. What is your goals? That's X. Y is then what are the steps, decisions, action items that you need to take to be that person? Once you know that, once you write that down, then it becomes Z. That's the standard. Once you know that, then the standard is the standard, and you don't take shortcuts, you don't compromise, you don't negotiate with yourself. I hope that resonates with some of you. It is late, I'm taking an Orange Theory workout tomorrow morning. Gotta go to bed. Bye, everyone.